Well, on our best 11s, midfield, that was tough. Vinny Samway's definitely one that's got to be in there. Jeff Perron, of course, we mentioned him in the defenders. He was another superb player. Adam Chambers, of course. Lots of decisions there for my final 11. Up front, what should we look at first? The 80s has got to be, you got to kick off and talk about Alan Buckley. 73 to 85 did superb stuff for Walsall, and club record 202 goals is amazing. 125 goals in his first spell in the 70s. Returned to Walsall at the end of the 70s. 49 goals in 178 games. Well, and of course, what it is a manager, we can't forget that. It's only half-time speech halfway through the Milk Cup semi-final against Liverpool. Alan Buckley is definitely in there. There's one player, though, that gets forgotten. It was with Walsall from 77 to 83. Scored 54 in 141, which is a better return than Alan Buckley on his second spell. Do you remember that player? Can you tell me in the comments who it is? Right then, what other players we've got? Ollie Kearns, Dave Bamber. He's got to be one of the worst, I think. Ali Brown. Of course, legend for Albion. 72 in 279 for Albion. Actually, got a better return playing for Walsall. 13 in 38. What a season that was. But we've got to look to David Kelly. 63 in 147 games for Walsall. That's approaching 1 in 2. Went on to great stuff, didn't he? 83 to 95. Went on to play for West Ham, Leicester, Newcastle and the Wolves. David Kelly. True Walsall legend. He was there for the kit reveal. The blue kit. Not a fan, to be honest. I like this one. But each their own. Richard O'Kelly, of course, dominated the 80s. Some great performances. Nicky Cross was part of that magic 3, wasn't he? With Trevor Christie, Nicky Cross, and David Kelly, of course. Trevor Christie, 86 to 87 season. Mark Rees, though. Could we have him in the wingers? In the midfield attack? It sort of falls in between the two. But Mark Rees, great memories from watching him at Millwall, at Millmore even. The 4-2 win against Rotherham. And then they nobbled him, didn't they? Southend nobbled him before the Milk Cup semi-final. Bit dodgy, that. Into the 90s, Stuart Rimmer. Great Walsall striker, of course. Rod McDonald. Great memories. Martin Butler. Wayne Clark. Kyle Lightbourne, come on. Is there better than Kyle Lightbourne? Him and Kevin Wilson. Yeah, Kevin Wilson, Kyle Lightbourne. What a pairing they were. The record for Kyle Lightbourne and Kevin Wilson was astounding. 94-95 season, 23 goals for Kyle Lightbourne. The 95-96 season, they got 15 each. 96-97, another 20 goals for Kyle Lightbourne. Absolutely superb. Clive Platt, never really struck the heights, but following those, you could understand it, really. Roger Bolly, of course, he followed on from there. Only 12 goals, but there was that one overhead kick from Jeff Perron's cross against Southend that I think will be one of his most memorable, but perhaps the most memorable was away to Manchester United in the Cup. That header. And his interview after. That was brilliant. Andy Watson. I can remember at the time, I saw something in the Pink, the Sports Argus or Sporting Star, whatever it was, referring to him as Walsall Star. I didn't see him as a star at that point, but maybe my vision of a star was sort of people at greater heights. Michael Ricketts, a player for Walsall that sort of did much better after leaving Walsall. He was a player who kept missing, and then when he finally hit it, got 11 goals, and then of course Walsall cashed in on him. Went to Bolton, I think, wasn't it? So who else we got? Ziggy Eyolfsson. He was only a bit part player, but remember him. Andy Rammell. Oh, what can we say about Andy Rammell? What a player that we didn't expect to do too much, and then it just all clicked for him. And a superb servant of the club. We had a great interview with him on the Walsall Fan TV Insights. If you haven't seen that, worth going and checking out. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Right then, that's the 80s and the 90s. Where are we going next? The 2000s. Brett Angel. Looked like a bit of a lumbering oaf, but I mean, scored some goals for us, didn't he, Brett Angel? 16 in 61 appearances. That's a super 1 in 4 return. Loved it. Don Goodman, of course. The playoff final was that 2001-2002 at the Millennium Stadium. But great performances from him. He's kept his connection with Walsall. He's also one of those with the Chambers brothers that helping out with the Walsall FC Foundation. So legend in many ways. But we can't talk about the 2000s without mentioning Georgie Lato. And that magic three, Zigo Aronaldi, Pedro Matoias, George Lato, and shouts of it's like watching Brazil. George Lato, 18 goals in the 2000-2001 season. Season after 8, that was more challenging. Then Junior, 15 goals, 2022-2003. George Lato still there, another 7 the season after. But we're a much higher level then. And so that's going to be considered. But George Lato, yeah, another Walsall legend that we can't forget. Matty Fryatt. There's just so many, aren't there? Paul Merson even. Madness. Martin Butler. James Constable. There's a player that we plucked out of non-league who did a good job for us. Alex Nichols. Troy Deeney. I used to sit next to Dave Bickley. And Troy Deeney, I can remember him saying he'll never make a footballer. I thought, actually, he's made a footballer. And he said, no, a proper footballer. But obviously, what he went on to do for Watford, including that superb winning goal in the, playoff final, wasn't it? Hog D-Day! And all that business. Then, Tommy Mooney, can't forget him. Will Grigg, obviously, scored bags and bags of goals everywhere, really. Particularly Wigan, but doing all right for Chesterfield at the moment as well. Jabo Ibire, do you remember him? Oh dear, so many. 2010s, George Bowerman, a player that I thought was going to go on to massive stuff for us. But disagreement with Dean Smith, I think, and pretty much ended him. Darren Byfield, obviously we're thinking about those playoff games as well. Will Grigg, still in there. John Macken, Fabian Brandy, went for the money. But don't they all? Craig Westcar. I can remember I had the joy of sitting next to his girlfriend when we went to play the Wolves, and we had that goal from Andy Butler that we'll recall. So that was good. Bakayoko, Tom Bradshaw, of course. Super goals for us. Super goals. Tom Bradshaw, where's it? Yeah, 17 and 17, 2 consecutive seasons. 2014, 15, 2015, 16. Jordan Cook didn't quite strike the highlights. Andy Cook, boo, did well for us though, didn't he? 13 goals in that season. But didn't really melt with the team, did he? Didn't really meld with the team very well. Morgan Ferrier, hot wire. Elijah Adebayo. What can you say? Elijah Adebayo. He sort of kicked into the 2020s, really. His highlight, 10 goals in the 2021 season. And then Josh Gordon, sort of coming on the scene. Have I missed any? High goal scorers. Ostuma, of course. We've got him in our midfielders. 15 and 15 consecutive seasons. Will Grigg, 2012-2013 season, 19 goals. Some absolutely super strikers at a good level as well. In the 2020s, as we mentioned, Elijah Adebayo, George Miller, Connor Wilkinson, Andy Williams, Mo Fall, Danny Johnson, Jamil Matt. How can we pick 2 out of that? Well, because of the level we're playing at, I'd count out the 2020s. Elijah Adebayo, would we count him in there? Tom Bradshaw, absolutely superb. George Lato, obviously superb favourite. But then, can we forget Alan Buckley, my special player? 54 in 141 appearances, 77 to 83. Do you remember who that is? Ali Brown, David Kelly has got to be in there, isn't he? David Kelly. But then can you split Carl Lightbourne and Kevin Wilson? Who would be your all-time best 11 2 up front for Walsall? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.